This video is about the potential of the Helder Tenor recorder. During my research, I have compared several modern recorder models, and I've realized that many recorder makers from today focus on only one aspect to develop further. For example, the volume, dynamics, or the quality of the third octave. But there is one instrument which combines several new features within one instrument, and this is the Helder Tenor recorder, named after its maker, Dutch recorder maker Maarten Helder, and developed in the early 1990s. Shortly after its development, it was taken over by recorder company Mollenhauer, based in Fulda, and it is produced by this company ever since. When Maarten Helder developed this instrument, he was a recorder player himself, and as soon as he performed together with other modern instrumentalists, he got quite frustrated. So he wanted to set new standards in recorder making and to bring new dimensions into modern recorder performance practice. So here's a short overview on what he did change and what is new about this instrument. The Helder Tenor is based on the principle of pure harmonics, a principle every modern woodwind instrument is based on. So Maarten did change the bore. You can see that it's mainly cylindrical except of the middle joint. You can find here a small inverted conus. It has also a longer cylindrical foot joint than we are used to, with an extra key for the extension note B natural. The principle of pure harmonics means that the instrument in total is much more in balance. So the lower register is louder than we are used to, and the third octave can be also played softly. I would like to demonstrate this with the overtone scale. Now the last note I played is a A3. I think as a recorder player we never played an A3 that soft. Furthermore, this principle enables me to extend the second, third and fourth register of my recorder. That means that I can play legato and trills and tremolis in an extended range. For example, DE. There's a register change. Now I can put the D natural into the second register and it sounds. So I extend the second register to B natural and have more possibilities. What I said with legato playing, with trills and tremolis. And I can do that also, as I mentioned, with the third and the fourth register. Furthermore, there is an extended key system. And this enables me to play the lower notes also much more in balance. Of course, we need a key for the extension note, B natural. And of course, we do have a key for C and C sharp, which is quite common nowadays because it makes the instrument stronger in the lowest registers. But what is really a nice progress as well is the extended key for the D sharp or E flat, you can say. Normally the D sharp or E flat is quite soft and out of balance in comparison to the notes around this note, and also very unstable. It sounds normally like this. Not very convincing, is it? As soon as I want to give more, it jumps into the second octave. So this E flat key and D sharp key gives much more resonation and quality into this note. Furthermore, we have a piano key, and you probably won't see that, but on this key there's a little stick, and this enables me to gradually open and close this hole. Now, we know when we open a hole, air gets released. So this means when I don't adjust my air pressure, the pitch is rising. As soon as I start to adjust my air pressure, I can play on the same fingering but softer. And this is also quite a revolution, because normally we have to do this via finger work, yeah? So slightly open or close holes if we want to, for example, play louder, we add fingers. So now with the piano key, I can easily open this, adjust my air pressure and play softer. What I've forgotten to mention beforehand with the extended key system is that we can use now forte fingerings in the first octave, which is quite a nice progress as well. Because, for example, the F natural in the first octave is easily blown into a multiphonic, so I don't really can use dynamics except using this piano key, playing softer. But as soon as I want to play louder, this is happening. Now I can use, for example, this fingering, which I got to know from my teacher, former teacher Johannes Fischer. Or the F sharp. Also overblows quite easily into multiphonic, I can use now. This is quite helpful for dynamics, but also for variations in tone colors. This is what the 21st century is also about, tone color variation. Last but not least, Maarten changed also the mouthpiece, and here he got his inspiration by a saxophone player and maker, Arnfrid Stratmann. He built a flexible block system in the late 1980s, and Maarten Helder wanted to use the system as well, because he saw the big potential of the system. So as soon as I start moving the screw up or down, the block moves up and down, which means that the wind channel gets wide or narrow. And you can imagine that this has quite an impact on the sound quality. So I show you again the standard position, so you have a clear vision of the, not a vision but an image of the sound quality in the standard position. Now we're using the wide position. Standard. And narrow. Let me show you again. So I hope the characteristics are quite audible. So what's happening with the narrow wind channel is that the sound gets more snoring and more dirty, and as soon as we work with a wide wind channel, it gets more fluty, more airy. In the standard position on this instrument, I can play also now more dynamics by moving the lip control with my lips. So I can move the block with the lips. And this is actually, for me, the biggest revolution of this instrument, because finally I can end notes and start notes how I want to end them or start them. I don't want to have always an articulation, for example. Well, sometimes I want to sneak in, and very often I want to sneak out. You know, I want to really give the note a proper ending. As a recorder player, we are kind of trained to move our way around it, to find solutions. But this can be also frustrating, you know. It's sometimes really sad if you have to cut the note. And this lip control doesn't work only in the first or second octave, it also goes into the third octave. Not all the notes, but quite a few of them. And I would like to show you in every register one note, let's say, or in every octave. I can do that better. Let's try it once more. And you know what happened? I actually opened the wrong finger. And this is quite important to know using the lip control and different fingers. First of all, as many fingers as possible on the instrument to use the lip control, but also to find out which is the finger which controls getting softer. So I'm used to open, of course, a lot with the second finger, but then I can't use the lip control because it will fall down. This is what happened at the beginning. And now I opened slightly the sixth finger, so I could go really to niente. Now let's see if I can find also the highest notes. This was now, let me check, the F. Now, and I'm actually so happy that this is this is possible finally, because normally with the instruments we are used to perform on, also this means especially copies of original instruments, we don't have this possibility, the flexible third octave. It was just impossible. You can only reach them with a lot of pressure and big dynamics, and suddenly we have and I think this is quite some revolution, and I hope I can inspire you to use this instrument and this potential as well, because for me it's really mind-opening and mind-blowing, and I finally have the feeling I can really express what I want. So thank you for listening, and please feel free to ask questions if you have any. And of course, I will keep you posted with more information about this instrument and other instruments and about my research project. So thank you very much.